Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamesline Podcast. This is the 100th episode of the reboot. We've done it. 100 episodes. It's been a great time to return to gaming, even though we didn't really fully leave. It's fine. Folks, my name is John, and I am in charge of the website. I host the podcast. I am the person who presses yes on a lot of things, usually. That's basically my job, is just to look at a website and then press the yes button.
Ooh. To
make it go through. I do that sometimes. It's nice. With me this week, Lorelai, you're here again for
I am.
What is this, like the 17th time in a row?
It's been a few. It's been a good
the 300 millionth time in a row.
A good streak of podcasts now that it's not convention season and I'm at a convention every weekend.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, convention weekends. You seem to. Do you thrive at those? Are you loath to them?
I usually thrive at them, but when you do, like, there was like a 3-month span there where I had a convention every weekend except for like 2. So I kind of burned out a little. So I skipped out on San Diego Comic-Con, where Andrea is right now, still in San Diego. But like, it's, I had to take a break. It killed me because, I was at a convention every weekend from FanFest starting in April to the middle of July. It's convention season is exhausting.
Well, welcome home, as it were. And welcome home to you, Crystal. Hello, it's been a hot minute. How are you?
Hi, has it been that long?
Kind of. I mean, I would say it's been like a month or two, I want to say.
When's the last one I was on?
I don't know. I mean, I don't fully remember, but it has been a hot minute, yes.
Oh, episode 94, Raymond's Giant Hog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody loves Raymond.
I could maybe tell that Lorelai was kind of going through something, because there was a small streak there of some raunchy podcast titles.
I had some fun. You kept setting them up. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna miss out on an opportunity for a bad joke.
I understand. It's the podcaster editor privilege.
I am a mature adult, and I only do mature adult things. Like, I would like for you to
not lie on this podcast. Okay. No, just kidding. But yeah, Crystal, I guess I could ask you, because I mean, we talked about it last week, and I don't want to reiterate everything that we talked about last week, but we talked a bit about our experiences with conventions and all that. Have you ever been a convention goer?
I've gone to a convention from time to time. I don't think I've gone to a convention in the decade of the 2020s. They're not really my scene. I gave them a shot. I'm like, I don't like talking to strangers.
You know what? That's fair. I feel you.
Yeah. And when you're running a table, that's all you're doing. So it gets, it burns out all of my social energy.
No, I was I was an assistant to an ex who ran the table, was like doing that whole scene. That seemed like a real tough gig.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that shit. I think I could. Lorelai, tag me in sometime. Honestly, like, I mean, I don't know. It'd probably be very expensive to like fly me out or whatever. But I mean, I would do it. I would absolutely do that.
I mean, hey, if Andrea got a table at PAX, it's only like $950 some bucks.
That's true.
It's fucking insane. Like, y'all, what the fuck? Nobody's going to pay that. Like, almost every one of my artist friends that got accepted went, oh yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know how much it is for like a booth at Classic Game Fest, but she could probably do some stuff there. That would actually probably be something. I mean, you'd have to come on down to Texas, but you know.
Yeah, that's the hard sell on that one.
I mean, it's Austin, so it's not like the main reason why that you don't want to come down to Texas around that time for Austin is hot. That's the big thing. Is hot. I mean, I was wearing a sweater that day. I don't know. I mean, I posted it on Blue Sky, but I mean, I put on my Karibo sweater because I was like, I want to wear something nice to take a picture of James Rolfe. So I put on my Karibo sweater. So I was running around in a fucking sweater all day, and I was
dressing fancy
for James. Yeah, I'll do anything for it. No, no. I mean, I did get kind of dehydrated. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't do that again. Anyway, yeah, not to just go back to last week's topics. We do have stuff to talk about this week because, hey, it was another week, and I got to live in my new apartment for another week. I can say that it has been very nice. I feel like I'm, really acclimated now, as it were. This isn't like, oh man, I'm in this weird new space. It's like, oh no, yeah, this is my apartment. This is where I live.
Yeah, so I live in a cool place that you can make your own because it's a solo apartment, right?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, there has been some bits where I've been like, just because like I'm like, I have to get items that I kind of took for granted previously. Like today, I was like I'm getting ready to do some recipes, and I am making like a pasta dish that needs garlic to get mashed up. And I was like, well, yeah, I could get like pre-mashed garlic, but I already have garlic in the fridge and I would love to have some nice fresher garlic. And then I was like, well, but now I got to get one of those fucking garlic masher things. That's more money I got to spend. But then the thing that keeps pushing me forward about that kind of stuff is I'm just like, but then I got it, I'm not going to need another one for who knows. But
I will tell you, if you could properly dice up garlic, it's much better than if you just run it through a masher.
We'll see about that, because I did also buy one of those big ol' like vegetable slicer things, which I mean, I don't. You wouldn't use that on garlic, I don't think. But
no. But I do love a good chopper where you can just slam the thing down on it and get nice little parts. And
yes. So I'm trying to I'm getting things here and there. I'm not like going all in. It's the process, but I'm just excited to have like a repertoire, as it were, to be like, yes, here I'm going to make this food tonight, and I will have this leftovers, and I will have these tools to make it, and that just feels nice. I'm really acclimating to the single apartment lifestyle, as it were. This feels right for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, gaming still occurs. Not a lot of news, but gaming still occurs. Crystal, since it's been a hot minute, and you've got quite a few games on here, fill us in on what's been going on here, because you've been seemingly running through a bunch of the Final Fantasies, and I also want to hear your thoughts on the newest game that I'm seeing on here, the newest Nintendo game, at least. I don't know about some of these, but just please go ahead, choose one and hit us with the details, as it were.
John, what's your history and relationship with Splatoon?
I played the first one on the Wii U for a bit, and I liked it well enough, but I'm not really a competitive shooter person, so I eventually fell off, but I really liked the single-player mode.
That is similar to my relationship with Splatoon. I bought it on the Wii U, and like every game I bought on the Wii U, that led to a resentment for Mr. Nintendo for not giving me a free version of those same games for the Switch. Because I supported you when you needed it most, and you didn't pay me back.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Didn't even do like the ambassador thing like they did for the 3DS.
No.
Come on.
No, they forget their true friends. But Splatoon
so
was fun. I thought it was cool. Mm-hmm. And I never played 2 or 3 because I felt like I kind of got my fill of Splatoon with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But Splatoon Raiders is, I guess, an expansion of the single player mode, but now it's also, it's a shooter. It's a looter shooter. You go on raids, you kill the salmons, you splat them, you get new guns with new abilities, you upgrade your guns, you upgrade your abilities, go on another raid, and you rinse and repeat.
That makes perfect sense to me, just because, like, original Splatoon, you're going out and doing, you were playing the multiplayer mode, but then you were going back and, like, buying new guns and all that, and then making, kind of tying it into a looter shooter kind of thing makes a lot of sense for the single player aspect. So that's good. That sounds cool. What else is up with it?
It's got a bit of a different aesthetic. It's no longer sports arena in a city themed. Now you are like like pirates with like a kind of a ramshackle ship. And everything's very, it's still got that Splatoon sense of style, but it's a little more ragtag, a little more like, we're looking fashionable with what we can make happen.
Right. Like I think I haven't played any of this yet. I'm thinking about picking it up soon, but I saw some pictures of some of the outfits. Like, I think I saw like a character just wearing like it was like a hair tie that was just made out of like an extension cord. It's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly so. And the best part of the game is that when you're on your ship and you're waiting for your friends to log on, you can play a little bit of a crane game. There's there's boxes floating by, and you gotta move your crane to pick up the boxes, and you gotta time it right. And I was really meditating on, like, why does this feel more engaging, more satisfying than the actual main game mode? Have you ever been sucked in by a side mode like that?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. I can't think of anything specific right this second, but I feel like there have been definitely moments where I've just gotten way into the side mode over the main game, even if I still like the main game quite a bit,
I'm a blitzball freak, so I get that. I'm one of the few people in the world that was just like, yo, let me load up my portable blitzball machine.
I mean, I don't know. Does shiny hunting in Pokemon count? I guess maybe that. I don't know. I mean, there's other stuff in Pokemon that are like side mode things, like, the like battle challenge mode things in like Gen 3 or contests and stuff like that. I mean, I fucking love contests in Gen 3, so I'd say maybe that. But no, yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear that. Well, actually, you know what? I'm interested with what you've said, but how do you feel? How does it play? Do you enjoy the loop, as it were? Because I want to hear more about that.
I wouldn't say that I strongly enjoy the loop. I would say compared to some other shooters that I've tried, such as Borderland, it's a much more rapid loop. The missions are pretty short. You were back on your ship in like 5 to 10 minutes, if that. Okay. And that might be a little bit too rapid for my tastes. I would like if the missions were a little bit more robust, but I think that I don't know how much they can do with Splatoon, because I didn't play any of the single player modes for 2 and 3, so maybe they're a lot better, but I remember the single player in 1 was a little simplistic, which is to be expected, because it was basically a side mode. The multiplayer is the main attraction. And I would say this is not that far evolved beyond that. So I'm like, because Splatoon is like so cool aesthetically, and I've always really appreciated abstractly the game design of like, you don't just have to shoot, you can also paint. But I don't feel that Splatoon Raiders takes strong advantage of that. You're just shooting the salmon, and you're getting your crystals, and you're upgrading your guns, and you do it again.
Yeah. That seems That seems pretty looter shooter with that.
Yeah, that sounds about what I'd expect. I mean, I'm still a little interested in it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like like you saying that it's got like shorter like loops and stuff like that. That does kind of interest me more because as much as I enjoy hopping into marathon and all that here and there, I will say the thing that does frustrate me a little bit, and again, it's not like I don't think it's a negative on the game, it's just not my style, is just how long it takes you to get in and out of a game, as it were. Like, you load in, it takes a while to load up the map and all that, and then you're going in and then you start looking around and stuff. And I mean, like, if you do well, you'll be playing for a while, but if you get your shit wrecked immediately, it's like, oh well, I'm dead, and now I have to friggin' look around and try to find all the weapons that I want to use in my armory again, and then I gotta hop back into it, and it takes a while to get back into the groove. And I know that's to deter you from loss, because the game wants you to not do that. The whole point of marathon is to get items and to progress forward and all that. But I don't know, I think Splatoon Raiders sounds more like my kind of bag, where it's like, yeah, like I can hop in, I can find something cool, and then I can hop into another mission and use that cool thing pretty quickly.
Yeah. Like it'll be nice to have a single player Splatoon thing, which is why I'm kind of excited about it, because I feel like Splatoon, the only time they've done single player actually well in a way that engaged me was I liked ones, but the Octo expansion
for 2
that they did
right?
for 2 was really good. Like a lot of really cool puzzle levels and stuff like that actually engaged my brain. Whereas I thought the single player stuff in 3, it just It's
sure.
I like being able to go from, okay, I'm in the multiplayer, but now I need a break from it. I want to do a couple levels of single player stuff. And that's why Splatoon 3 is probably the one I've spent the least amount of time with.
One question though, Crystal, you did mention you were, quote, waiting for other people. Was that just in general, or is there a sort of co-op functionality to this?
Yeah, it is designed to be a 4-player co-op game.
Okay.
I mean, you can play it single player. I would not even say that it is primarily a single player game. They intend you to play this with oomphies.
Okay, that's noted. Okay. All right. Anything else that you would like to point out about the game? Because again, I'm interested, but it definitely sounds like if this is your kind of looter shooter, you'll hop on it. If not, then you might not be as interested.
I think Nintendo's in an interesting position now where I don't think that any of their games are truly awful, but they're kind of the king of the 6 out of 10. And I'm waiting for a really great one to appear.
I get that. All their stuff right now has been pretty mid. I don't think anything has really lit a fire under my ass except for Bonanza, and then even then I get why people are looking at look at what Bonanza is doing, and they're just yeah, I don't care about that, because it is very loose and just kind of, and you're just running around and breaking shit. So I get it. But also, yeah, I think right now they're just in this spot where they are so focused on all their extracurriculars that I think, and also I think we're at the point where their leadership, their leadership has just been lacking recently as well, just because it's been very transitory. And I think the quote unquote, I think the loss of Iwata is perhaps starting to catch up to them now, I would say, because the Switch 2 is the first time that he never really had any kind of input on it. So it feels like a company that is a little scared to, comparatively, at least a little scared to really stretch their wings, as it were. That's how I feel, at least.
Yeah.
All right, someone else go.
Lorelai, what's up? What have you been playing?
Yeah, well, now that I have a working computer, I've been catching up on like the new Final Fantasy XIV patch came out, and it released a lot of new stuff, just some new like minor side quests that I still haven't touched, but then it introduced a new like grind content area. Which is something that I have always liked doing, stuff that where I can just turn my brain off, fight a bunch of bosses, have some really dumb extra abilities, which are usually kind of fun to mess with, like makes your skill speed like playing World of Warcraft, you're hitting buttons so fast, or things like that. So
why do you like that specifically? What tickles your fancy so much about it?
It's usually just like it's having something where I can just turn my brain off and work on other stuff off to the side, which is really funny to say. Like, I really like this thing that I can engage with while engaging less mentally, but it really is like, there are some fun new boss fights, which is the part I like the most, because you get some new interesting mechanically, fights that are interesting mechanically. I still haven't gone through and seen all of them yet, so I'm excited to see more. There is one of them that is just this big, giant, goober-looking guy who just spits poison out everywhere, and explosions happening constantly, and none of them are like super hard to dodge. But the fact that his extra stuff like spins and moves, so you have to pay attention to like 4 different things at once, is like the one area where I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I get to turn my brain on for a second with this guy. But it's been nice. It's been a nice change of pace, just like chilling in a game I enjoy instead of doing like hardcore raiding, which is going to be my problem starting this week, because I found a group to do the Kefka fight, and now I'm like have a casual schedule going at that, but that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to eat shit about 2,000 some odd times over the next 4 months.
What does training for that like entail? Is it just trying it over and over again, or?
Yep, you just go in, you'll sometimes, some people like watching other people have done the fight or whatever.
Sure.
I am the kind of person who, the way I learn is by eating shit to something. So, like, if I'm just, like, watching a VOD of somebody doing the fight or whatever, I don't really learn how to do the fight through that. I can see how the mechanics work and whatnot, but I'm not actually, like, until I feel it, I don't understand what I'm watching. I don't understand how to solve it until I see it myself on my screen, because I play with a different camera angle than some people. I use a different control mode than some people. So watching a VOD is never actually giving a representative thing of my experience with things. So it's easier for me to just go in, just eat complete shit, and then I usually don't eat shit to it again, because I understand why I died, and, it
incrementally learn.
I learn incrementally rather than, hey, I'm going to watch this video over and over and over and over again for hours on it, which I see so many friends of mine do that, like, oh, I studied the hell out of the fight I was watching for like hours, and I'm like, okay, but we're going to go in. We're going to go in, and you're still probably going to eat shit to that first mechanic.
I understand. You want to be mentally prepared as well.
I mean, if it's the way somebody learns, that's awesome. Like, whatever works for you. It's the same way, like, when I'm teaching people stuff, I don't tell people how to read a mechanic. I tell people how I read a mechanic, because sometimes people see it completely different from me or learn a different way. So it's like, okay, this is what I see. Yeah, no, it's I teach people a lot in that game, and I just finished up with a group on Monday where I can tell people how to do a thing. That might not help them, so I tell people how I do it.
Sure.
And that usually helps a bit of time. Sometimes it doesn't help everyone the same way. So I'll also go, oh, one of my friends does it this way, and this is what helps them. That might help you a little. Because everyone learns differently, and when you're teaching people, you can't expect everyone to take the exact same what you say exactly the same. And it's nice. It's nice. It's been good getting back to that, but it's also going to be just really good learning a fight and eating shit to a fight over and over again, until I get to the point where at the end of the expansion, I can probably teach it to people. So it leaves that as an opening for me if I want to do like something with that later. If I want to help friends, I could do that, but I don't have to.
No pressure, just the fun.
Exactly. It's going to be good to get back to learning something, which is part of what's made the new content fun for me. Is there are new fights to learn instead of going back into the same 4 Savage fights once a week to get upgraded gear so that I can eventually do Kefka. And it's like, okay, these same fights, I've been doing these same fights for 5 months once a week. I'm pretty done with it. Yeah.
All right. Congrats on that. Let's see here. As for me, I've been messing around with some stuff here and there. Been hopping on those retro Chivos again. Playing Mega Man Legends on there on the Duck Station. It's that you know that game's good. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that Mega Man Legends is a good video game?
It's pretty cool.
I did, and it's still good. Hello. Not a lot to say, really, just because, I feel like it's not like... the thing is, like, I think a lot of people will argue about this, but I always prefer a retro achievement set that just makes me feel normal, where it's like, okay, I'm not... Like, there are some things that you kind of have to go out of your way to do. Like, there's some where it's like, hey, like, if you screw up the bomb mission and you miss any of the parts, you don't get the achievement. But it's like, that's very doable, and you just got to save beforehand and just make sure that you're doing it right and all that stuff. But then I look at the list for Mega Man Legends 2. Because, it's done by different people. It's not the same... the same person that made the set for Legends did not make the one for Legends 2. And I'm just looking at that one. It's like, I don't know, like Buster only achievements and all that stuff. No healing. It's got to be class S or higher. It's like, calm down a little bit. Like, let me play video games. I don't know. Like,
can you just let me enjoy the game when I play it?
There's definitely some... Like, I'm fine with those achievements if they're, like, I don't know, like in a separate set or something. Like, I've always dug where it's like, hey, there's a separate set that's like, oh, here's the fucked up difficult achievements, and then here's the ones where it's like, hey, you're playing the game, have fun. I have always preferred that. I don't know if that's weak of me to say, but I don't know. It's like when I play through a game like that, and I always see retro achievements and stuff like that as sort of you have seen everything that this game has to offer. And then when you introduce limitations like that, like, I think limitations can be cool. And I think that, self-limiting yourself for different things is very cool. But I think that that shouldn't be wrapped together in a completion aspect, because that is a very separate way to playing the game than the standard. You're not playing that game the way that it was intended to be played, as it were. And, again, that's fine. These aren't official achievements.
Yeah.
But I guess just if I were making achievements, that's how I would approach it, is like, you are trying to get the most out of this game, and then, it's like a checklist sort of a good experience of it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll just also mention I've been because I went and got games at Classic Game Fest. I actually didn't start playing those games, funnily enough. I went, you know what? I've had Okage Shadow King since the last Classic Game Fest. I'm gonna pop that in, and I messed around with that for like a few hours a couple nights ago, and that game's cool.
So what's it like? What? So can you describe the game for me, because I haven't played that one yet.
Okay, so it is a PS2 JRPG. If I remember correctly, I think it was close to launch of the PS2. And it was done like in-house, if I remember correctly. I think that's like a Sony. I don't know if it was Japan studio, but it's. I'm gonna look that up right now. Let's see. It is. It was made by Xenier Works. I'm not familiar with them. I'm gonna Google this. Let's see. They made 3 games. They made this. They made Crossgate for, which was an MMO for PC, I guess. Yeah, and a game called Spin 6, which was a DSiWare game. Huh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Did they work as a support studio on anything else, or?
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so they made some Game Boy game. They made Little Master Raikuban no Densetsu, which is just like a turn-based strategy game. Made something called Tokyo Dungeon for PS1, or they, I guess, helped make it because it's developed by Cybele. They worked on Pokemon card game Asobikata DS, which was basically just a tutorial game for the DS, which is kind of interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
And a game in 2009 for PSP called Diamond and the Sound of a Gunshot, which is an adventure novel.
That is a very cool title for a game.
It's a really good title. Yeah, it's very odd. It seems like this is the only thing they ever really worked on. I mean, SIE, Sony Interactive, did also work on this, so I don't know. Very, very strange development history here for Okage. But you're playing as a boy who is the art style feels very it's very Nightmare Before Christmas-esque. It's kind of doll-like, and all the characters are very they're very oddly and very specifically shaped, as it were. Yeah. It's oh yeah, no, this motherfucker is shaped like a triangle,
This guy is a Rob Liefeld drawing.
I wouldn't say, not like that. Just they're very much oh yeah, we're making this guy he's the ringleader of the circus, so he's got to have a big old top hat, and he's got to be kind of portly and twirling a cane around, and he looks like a triangle. That's more what I mean. But the character designs are just also in general pretty memorable and fit in with the characters too. So far my favorite character is your second party member, who her name is let me make sure, Rosalind. Yes. Where she is just because there's just a bunch of heroes and heroines going around trying to stop demon kings and all that. Her whole thing is that she is never seen without her parasol, because she is extremely powerful, but she is always having to juggle, keeping a parasol over her head, and that's because the main character has been possessed by an evil shadow king named Stan. And
Stan.
Yes, and a previous point, Stan was going to possess her, but he decided not to, and instead just turned her shadow pink. So she hates that her shadow's pink, so she goes around with a parasol to make sure that nobody can see her shadow. But she's also just very powerful, and it's just fun to see her kind of button heads with Stan, because the whole point of the game is that Stan is trying to... He says that he is the reincarnation of the ancient demon lord, basically, and he's like, hey, I think I'm gonna gather back up my power, because there's other evil kings that have popped up around since I have been in, I guess, in slumber, as it were. They stole my power. And so you just go around and fight these evil kings, and you're kind of working with and also against Stan, which is pretty funny. He's like part of your shadow. And so it's just like, yeah, we're going around defeating these kings and all that, but also you're kind of on the down low with Rosalind, trying to figure out how to get Stan off of your shadow and all that. It's neat. It's very neat.
So what would it be like? Is it like a turn-based, or? It's
turn-based, but it's got like an active time thing going on, and it's a little bit different than Final Fantasy's ATB. That, I mean, I don't know if it fully works per se, but it's like, it was one of those things where it's like, I can see what they're trying to do, and if there was like a sequel, I think they would have figured something out that would be more interesting, because it's basically Final Fantasy's ATB, except when the enemy takes their turn, they start to perform their action as your, they will perform their action, and then you can like input your action while they're still doing it, but you don't like interrupt their action or anything. It's basically just like they could be like leaping at you to do an attack, and then when your ATB bar fills, you can put in the move, but then you just kind of sit there and you wait for them to finish their action, and then you can do something, and then it kicks in, and it's just kind of like, all right, I guess, like, sure. It doesn't feel that much more active, because it's not like I'm interrupting them or anything. It's just like I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for my turn. But I get what they're trying to do there, and it's like, okay, sure. That's kind of it, though. It's a pretty basic RPG. Besides, you're learning moves as you're going around and finding items and upgrading your sword and all that shit. It's pretty basic. It's mostly for the aesthetic and for the humor, as it were, even though I like, some of it's a little eye rolly, and some of it's also like not like, there are some like not like bad translations, but just kind of stiff translations here and there, where I'm just like, yeah, I completely understand what this is supposed to mean, but it like, I would have punched that up. There's a lot of dialogue in this game that should have gotten punched up. But otherwise, yeah, I still am enjoying interacting with it. It's got a real cool sense of style to it, and again, like, I don't think that there's really any other game that like looks and acts like this, and it's a shame, because yeah, I think if this game at least had a sequel, I think if they had gotten another shot at it, I think that would have been like a complete stone cold classic, instead of this, like niche hidden gem, as it were. It's like, I wish they could have gotten another shot at it. Basically, that's what I'm feeling walking away from this. It's just like, man, I wish this had a sequel. I know that's a little lame, maybe, to say that, but
I mean, sometimes you always kind of wish for like weird old classics to have gotten a second chance. Like if Suikoden had stopped after Suikoden 1, it would not be a series people cared about, because that game is messy, and like there's like promise. It's them figuring out what to do in the future, and they got to do it in the future. So,
or at the least, like, just that team getting to make something else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more what I mean. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably play more of that soon, because it is very cool. It's very fun. There's a Stan has a butler named James who's like this devil looking dude, and at one point I'm pretty sure he goes, he's like really hitting on your mom. That's pretty funny. It's like, bro, dude, Stan, James is trying to fuck my mom. Just like, you just kind of have to move on from that. It's crazy.
What's the main like thrust of the narrative emotionally in Okage Shadow King?
I mean, emotionally, it's just kind of that's a little hard to say, because really you're just doing this because Stan has enslaved you. like literally, he's just calling you his slave constantly, and you're just kind of like going along with it. And like the one funny aspect is that you can sort of there is a like an affinity thing that there's no like meter or something, like, so they're not showing you how each character feels about you or whatever, but depending on how you react to different things, you unlock items later on, basically. But it's like, just, like Stan will say something like, "Now, slave, go and do my bidding," and you can choose to be like, "Yes, sir," or you could just be like, "And I guess," or you could just be like, just straight up like, "No, I don't need to listen to you, but whatever," and it's like, none of that really changes anything, but it is pretty funny to just like have this all-powerful demon lord being like, you are my slave and you must do what I say," and then you could just respond with like, "Man, I don't fucking care." Like, all right, dude. Like, and he can't do anything about it because he's stuck in your shadow, but it's pretty funny still, just the way that it is.
Is Stan supposed to be Satan?
I suppose so. I mean, he's just like, he's got like a big old long, like a funny long name, but it includes Stanley in it, and he's just like, "Just call me Stan," and I'm sure that he's maybe supposed to be Satan or whatever. Yeah, Lord Stanley Hi-Hat Trinidad the 14th.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Or just Stan.
I bet this game had a really good website.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, my God. You could click and drag things on that website, I bet. Oh, my goodness. I would bet money that there were some great, like, MSN profile pictures on the Okage Shadow King website.
Oh, I miss the days of MSN profile pictures.
Must the game have like great gameplay or good stories, and not enough to just have good graphics like Okage Shadow King?
I mean, I think that's fine, as long as you're aware that that's what you're coming to it for.
I like looking at it.
And I think that its vibe and its overall, like, what's going on with it is still good enough that it's not like you're trudging through a bunch of crap just to see good character design. It's like, yeah, it's good enough that you're gonna still want to go through it and experience it, even if it's not like completely the best game of all time. It's like, I think a game can live on its vibes easily, but also I do need to keep playing it and see what else is going on with it, because I don't think I'm far enough to really pass full judgment. It's just neat so far.
Well, it's a tough thing, right? Because like vibes can go a long way. Yeah. I don't know if vibes are necessarily enough for like a 30-hour RPG, but I bet I would have a really good time playing the first 3 hours of this and then never playing it again.
I mean, potentially. But also, hey, maybe something might click for you. Who knows? I cannot say for sure.
Like, vibes can sometimes carry me through an RPG, but it is extremely rare.
Sure. But yeah. But yeah, that's some of what I've been playing. I mean, I did remember that there's something else that I have been playing, but we can hop, skip, and jump back around, because Crystal, yeah, you still got some more stuff to talk about. What else have you been up to?
I played, by which I mean a friend played while I watched her play, and then helped her solve some puzzles. 2016 adventure game Kathy Rain.
Okay.
Tagline: Birth of a Detective. Kathy Rain is like a sassy biker college student, and she's like a journalism student, and she's going to solve the mystery of what happened to her recently deceased grandfather. And it's very Twin Peaks inspired, which is something that I think I am a little bit sick of, honestly. I've been like radicalized as a Twin Peaks hater, even though I mostly like the show, just because it's imitated so much. But Kathy Rain is not bad. It's a fun game. Like most adventure games, it doesn't overstay its welcome too much. You can easily beat this in 2 or 3 sessions.
Sure.
And Kathy is like, how do I describe her? Like the way that she has an attitude is something that is initially really grating, but she kind of won me over like a parasite that I come to consider a friend.
Okay.
Have you ever had that kind of experience with a game where it's like you find someone obnoxious and then you spend enough time with them, you just start to like them?
Just really worms its way in there.
I suppose so. I mean, I would say that has happened to me in some instances, but it's usually through recontextualization, not just like being around them the whole time. Like, what's his name? Navarre from Shin Megami Tensei 4, where he's this like shithead snooty guy in the original game, and he dies really quickly near the beginning of the game, but then in Apocalypse he comes back as a ghost, and he goes through a lot of character development in your party, and I kind of ended up liking him that way because he actually developed and became more of a less one note and moved on from being a shithead, you know, like that I don't think that counts though, you know.
Kathy certainly gets more developments than her initial like Daria shtick, but
okay.
I don't think it's that. I think I've come to appreciate the Daria shtick.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, you know what? Daria's hitting it on all cylinders sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes she's right.
Yeah.
But adventure games are fun. Have either of you played I mean, this is very much a throwback to like classic 90s point and click.
Sure.
You like any of those?
I've been going through some over the last few months, just like in spare time. I like a lot of those. Like I grew up with Myst, and like I've been replaying Seventh Guest recently, and it's like it's kind of a nice vibe. You're just clicking around, and then you get to a puzzle that's a pixel hunt, and you want to smash your face against a brick wall.
A while ago, I played through a lot of the like LucasArts ones, you know, your Grim Fandangos and Day of the Tentacle, and did I play any other ones? I think it might have been those, and maybe one other one, I don't remember. But I did like all of those that I played quite a bit.
I don't think I've ever actually played any of the classic. I've only played their imitators.
Oh.
If you had to tell me to play one, which one would it be?
Honestly, it would be Myst. It's like the, you know, generic answer to it, but it's an absolute classic for a reason. Like,
yeah,
that game is brilliantly well made, and yeah, like if you had to play one of the classics, it's probably Myst.
Okay,
and then you know,
for my recommendation, I would say Grim Fandango.
Oh yeah, Grim Fandango is
Myst
also
as well.
great, but
yeah.
Like when I think of point and click adventure, I go back. My mind is always the kind of first person old classic PC ones. So like, yeah, with it, like, if I had to choose like one and it could include any of them, yeah, I'd actually agree. Grim Fandango or Myst. Like if you want the first person, Myst, the origins of everything, but if you just want the best one, it's probably Grim Fandango.
All right. Thank you for the recommendation.
All right. And Lorelai, what else have you been up to? What else is on the list here?
So a couple weeks ago I talked about it. I was pretty disappointed in Moonlight Peaks. The more I've played, because I don't give up on a farming sim usually, because there's still like something about the daily loop that if I'm enjoying that enough, I can put 100 hours into one of those games. The daily loop on this one actually does feel pretty fucking good. At the end of the day, it's one of the few games where you can just let the daylight timer run out. You don't have to run to your bed, and there's no penalty on the next day, which I don't like, but also like a lot because, hey, it means I'm not like, oh no, I've only got 2 hours till I have to be in bed, or tomorrow I end up with like half my stamina, kind of thing. There's something nice to just being able to go, all right, it just has you wake up in your coffin the next day, you're awake, you're alive. It feels, it's nice to not feel like I have to rush everything towards the end of a day, especially when your days are a little bit shorter than a normal game because you only get to be out at night, and there's fewer nighttime hours than daylight time. But for the most, like as I've started to get deeper into the game, I'm liking the writing of the story more. I do wish there are periods where, like, when you have an active quest, the text people say doesn't really change until you complete that quest. And sometimes it can take 5 or 6 days to complete a quest because you've got to, like, find the right kind of thing, and sometimes it's not easy to get. So it's like, okay, I would like this to progress, because the overall story they're telling is pretty fun. Hey, you're Dracula's kid. You moved into your mom's old hometown. Fun idea. Fun conceit. The magic stuff is really fun. Leads to a lot of like, hey, I can cast this spell on my plant and get, like, it could just randomly change into something else sometimes. It's getting a little bit, the more I've played, the more I've come to like it a bit more. Mm-hmm. It's still like, hey, if you have a farm sim and you want to play just one, go with Coral Island or some of the other ones that are coming up, Fields of Mystria, which releases in like a week from now. I'm also excited for because, hey, another magical, like, very 80s anime aesthetic, but it's one I'm not disappointed in at this point. I'm not like, it's not gonna make my worst games of the year kind of thing. It's still disappointing, but there's more to it than I thought there was originally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Last thing from me is Hell Maiden. I don't know if any of y'all heard about this one. If you have, it is a Survivors-like. I don't care for the Bullet Heaven name.
I agree.
I don't stand with that. God, I remember there being another name that I did stand by, and I don't recall what it was off the top of my head right now. But I think I posted about it. Oh yeah, I dig horde shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that, even though they're not all shooters. But, you know, I think that some people might be like, but do you mean that like, I don't know, like Horde mode in Gears of War and like Left 4 Dead and Helldivers are in the same genre? You know what? Sure. Yeah, why not? I don't care. That's fine. I could say that. But I don't like Bullet Heaven. What I do like, though, is Hell Maiden, because it's so it is early access. This is not a fully released title, but it is one of those. It is a horde shooter where you play as the girl version of Dante Alighieri. Everyone in this game is a girl. This is running off of Toho, kind of sort of Fate vibes, where it's just like, oh, they're all cute girls. But yeah, you're Dante. You're down in hell. You're going through all the different layers, and you're doing bullet fun horde mode, horde shooter stuff to level up your stats, and you're picking up weapons as you go, like you would in one of these games. And after a set amount of time, you fight a boss. So it's and the bosses are specifically like put in a boss arena. So you are like teleported from the level to a boss arena to fight the boss. So it's not just like, oh, we just dumped the boss on there and you're fighting them as well as the other enemies. It's a very separate thing, which I think is a pretty fun gameplay loop where you're, going around leveling yourself up, trying to get through the stage. But then you also have to remember, oh yeah, well at the end of this, I do have to fight a much more powerful enemy as well that has like similar abilities to you, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's neat. I would say it's real damn cool. I didn't know it's $10. I thought that it was going to be way more expensive. They do say that they're going to raise the price before it comes out. So I suppose if you are interested in it, and I think there was a demo at some point. I don't think it's up, and it's not up anymore. But I mean, if you like these kinds of games, this is a good one of those. It's pretty well balanced. You're building different builds as you go by like picking up cards, and you equip 4 weapons, and then you can upgrade those weapons with other cards as you level up. And you get like other passive abilities and all that. You've got like a dash. You've got you can level up how far your reach is, like your magnet or whatever. It's just that sort of thing. Pretty basic, pretty much what you would expect from that kind of game, but it's super fucking pretty. It is gorgeous to look at, and like the music's very good. It's again very Toho sounding. I think it is very cool. For $10, like, yeah, I'll do that. This is by the same people that did a Little Goody Two Shoes, if you're familiar with that one. I haven't played it. I did hear some people talk about it, but it is the same team as Little Goody Two Shoes and Dreaming Maiden's Pocket Mirror.
Oh, that's classic. I don't know what that is.
I just wanted to make sure. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all played those. I don't know. Okay. Don't come at me, Lorelai.
I'm not coming at you.
You kind of were.
No.
Fucker. No, I'm just okay. I'm just kidding.
I do quite like the look of Little Goody Two Shoes. It's kind of similar to this, but more RPG Maker-esque and with a bit of a filter on top of it.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I don't know if Little Goody Two Shoes is an RPG Maker game, but they're the Pocket Mirror game is. So it seems like they very specifically were like evolving from their RPG Maker roots, as it were. So yeah, I can see that.
Little Goody Two Shoes is part of the. It's an indie game published by Square Enix when they were doing such things.
That's right. I do remember them doing that.
The Square Enix collective days.
Okay, so I'm building a narrative in my head here that may or may not be accurate to reality, which is like, we lost the Square Enix deal. We gotta make a roguelike Survivors-like.
Yeah, but they made a really good one of those.
They made a good one, apparently.
They made a really good one, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it looks really good. The character designs are really fun. Like, I'm already seeing people being like, because, like, Dante Alighieri is a well-worn trope for character designs, as it were. but I'm already seeing people being like, this Dante is up there with the Dante from Limbus Company. Like, I'm seeing people like drawing them together, and it's like, okay, well, she's gonna have some staying power if people are thinking about her at the same time as the Limbus company character, because everyone loves Limbus Company. I don't know. I don't know that much about Limbus Company, but I just think that like comparing your characters to bigger characters usually means that they have some staying power, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm pretty into this astral shift art style. It's a very intricate femininity.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
would recommend to check it out if you especially because it's 10 smackers and it's going to go up in the future. So let's hit the news real quick, and then we can finish off what y'all have been playing, because I just have the one bit of news here that I wanted to talk about. So Sony announced their discless future a while ago. Said, hey, we're not doing physical discs anymore. We spoke on this a few weeks ago and how much I hate it. There's been, some more reporting on that. Like, for example, an analyst has said that only 7 PlayStation games have sold more than 100,000 physical copies in the US this year, which I don't know. That's something, I guess. 2 have sold 10,000 in the week ending July 11th. I don't know. I mean, I think that there's maybe some aspects of that are true, and maybe some that are, I don't know, not being correctly reported, because I think that there's just different markets, and there's aspects of the market that aren't being reported on all the way. I would love to, like, that's the problem with a lot of these, like, and a lot of the analysis and a lot of the numbers reporting is just that, like, a lot of it is obfuscated if it doesn't hit a very specific number, or if it does hit a number and it's just not reported on because some publisher just doesn't care to report it. It's a little frustrating to have to kind of run through that, but at the very least, there is a bit of a wrinkle here. Sony had, I think they like reported they had some sort of report to, I think, their shareholders recently, and they said that they are going to not step down from this. Again, they reiterated this. They said they are going to, quote, cautiously move forward, that they hear the backlash, but they have not changed their mind. But there was something that I saw that did, I think, throws a little wrinkle into this. I don't think that it is a guarantee that even if people continue to be upset about this, that things will change. There is still a very good chance that they're just going to be like, nope. Especially because, they're gonna end up technically making more money off of this. Yeah. But the thing that I saw that was a bit intriguing is that Sony is apparently speaking to the retailers around the world. I'm reading this off of Video Games Chronicle here. They are saying that they want to put codes in a box on store shelves. They want to still have a presence in stores, but they just want to have codes in boxes. And I think that is where there will be a little bit of wiggle room towards an eventual backtracking, because I could see stores not selling any of those and those boxes just sitting there on shelves and them getting really mad about it. And then Sony sort of being like, well, having retail space is important to us still, so maybe we do need to print discs. For that reason.
After, Rockstar's reaction to multiple stores saying, hey, we're not going to sell GTA 5 here, or 6 here, because it's just a code in a box. We're not doing that. And Rockstar went, okay, who fucking cares? Sony's going to do this. I have no faith in Sony not just doing the exact same thing. It lets them focus, their one remaining plant shifts to making chips instead. They do not care about the consumer. I just
Yeah, again, I don't believe that it's like 100% something that's going to flip. You know,
Yeah.
I don't, but this is the first time that I've seen something where I'm like, if something is going to flip it, it will be this, but I still don't really think it will happen.
Yeah, it
If that
sucks,
makes sense.
but like I just have no hope that any of these corporations actually care enough to go, "Hey, we're going to do the right thing."
Yeah.
How many discs were they making before?
Like all of them.
yeah,
I know that's not specific, but like, yeah.
Well, like Sony first party games, were those discs in a box?
Yes.
All of them? Okay.
From what I understand, yes.
Yes.
I see. Because the way I've perceived this has been like, it's been a, you know, this is the axe dropping, but it has been a long, slow transition towards this already.
Yeah, they
It's
want
one
to
of those-
get rid of it because they have a thing where anything released on PlayStation is printed by them
Mm-hmm.
in their factory. It doesn't
I
matter
see.
if it's another company doing it, if it's limited run games or whatever. It's still all being printed in the Sony disc manufacturing building.
They are just doing a lot of disc manufacturing in general, though. Like, Disney passed their disc manufacturing over to them.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's one of those, it's one of those things, though, because people have been talking about this, and I spoke on this a little bit too, where it's like, it's pretty obvious that the main reason why they're doing this isn't necessarily because they don't make any money off of it, because, like, of course, they do profit off of those things existing. It's not like they are just not, it's not like they're selling 0 copies. It's not like this is something that is, where they're like hundreds and hundreds of discs are just rotting on shelves. It is very much just the number will go up because they will not have to print those discs, and also they just want people to do streaming services. Like, it's like the same thing is happening. Like, it's especially apparent because of what's happening with Crunchyroll right now, where they they bought up Right Stuff, which was the biggest like seller of anime like discs and ephemera online. Like, that was their big thing, was like, yeah, you could buy whatever discs come out on there and you would be sure that it was well packaged and all that. And Crunchyroll had their store, but that nobody really cared about that because they had Right Stuff. And they bought Right Stuff, and they initially were like, yeah, we're not changing anything. And then it very slowly became, oh, but now Right Stuff is just the Crunchyroll store. And it's the same thing, but it's just going to be called that. And then it slowly became, actually, we're just doing stuff that's important for Crunchyroll. We're not just going to sell random stuff. We're selling stuff that's streaming on Crunchyroll. And they just recently said, well, actually, now the only people that can access the store are going to be people that are at a certain tier of membership on Crunchyroll. So they're just trying to slowly squeeze discs away because they just want everyone to be on subscriptions. They're just going to be like, hey, you know, digital games are never going to go on sale, but you can subscribe to PlayStation Plus and you'll get these games whenever you get them. That is fully what they're doing. That is 100% what's going on. And it fucking sucks, but it's one of those things where it's like, you can't really force I don't know. It's probably going to work because it's just, people are just going to be like, well, I play video games. You know, this is how I interact with video games. So I don't know. I mean, I will probably end up playing less games overall just because of, you know, I don't have all that hard drive space, and I would like to just, you know, I like to buy games on sale, and, you know, having things on a shelf sometimes will convince me to purchase a game before, you know, just grabbing it digitally. But I'm just like, man, I don't know, but that's me, and I'm a weirdo compared to a lot of people, games wise. I just think that, it's just very frustrating. It's very much just you don't own anything anymore situation, and that's what it is. It is just that. It is 100% just we will make more money because we don't need to make perpetual deals to have these on sale forever. We could take things off the store and nobody can do anything about it, and it's just streaming and subscription services forever. You're not paying for something once, you're paying for it forever. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, it's frustrating these days, because I know you are a big physical person. Like, you are consistently like, no, I need to get this in a box. I don't want a fucking game key card kind of shit. Or like,
I'm less upset about game key cards. Like, I do think that it's kind of crappy, but it's one of those things too where it's just like, I'm less angry at it than just no discs at all, just because there is still some form of ownership there to an extent, but there's also just like so many games that were coming out on PlayStation are also basically game key cards anyway, just because you're just downloading shit like most of the game anyway. And I would prefer that not be the case, but I try to be realistic about some of these things. But I don't know. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's one of those things where like my feelings have been withered down over the years, and maybe in like a few years I'll just be like, well, I can still download the game onto my hard drive, and it's not just streaming it. Because that's probably where it's going to go eventually, and video games are going to be fucking horrible because they're all going to be streaming, and it's going to play like shit because our internet.
Oh yeah,
even with good internet, it's not going to be good enough. It's just
the cloud-based NVIDIA future.
I don't think the cloud-based future is going to happen, but I do think they will try to keep you on a subscription service. Well, they have tried, and all the people who have tried have not really succeeded.
They're going to keep trying is the unfortunate part.
But like, why?
Yeah. Because they build them up in an infrastructure where like they always introduce them to people in places where they have control over the connection quality and stuff like that. So like pretty regularly, like you see really good reviews of things like, oh, when Sony did their big upgrade of their cloud streaming, like classic stuff. Oh, the servers work so much better. And it's like, yes, the servers work better for somebody who is in the same state as the data center that it's being fed from. Meanwhile, if you're coming from the East Coast trying to connect to a data center in LA to play Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid, best example I can give is what my old roommate was trying to play Metal Gear Solid 3 on their streaming. It just did not work at all. There was like 5 seconds of lag. And it's just like, the more graphically complex a game got, the less that shit worked. So when I was testing it with games like RPGs and whatnot, it worked fine. But as soon as you threw anything in there that took even a tiny bit of processing space, it just runs like garbage.
I mean, honestly, I think a big aspect of them wanting to pivot to streaming so bad is yet again another aspect of companies not wanting people to own things. They don't want people to own a computer. They want you to have to spend a subscription fee for a cloud service.
I think subscription future is definitely where they are heading. I don't think that cloud is a necessary or even necessarily desirable component of that for them, because if you download a temporary license for a game through a subscription service, then you still pay for the electricity to run that game instead of them having to pay for that.
Yeah.
And you own whatever piece of hardware and you do the maintenance on that hardware. They're not having to do maintenance on a million bajillion server racks running Call of Duty.
I mean, I think that there will be a point where they realize that that's what they're doing, and then maybe that'll be when they pull off of it a little bit, at least for the streaming aspect, because it's going to be just like how once they're starting to do that, but once the AI stuff stops being so subsidized and it becomes, no, you have to spend, this is how much you actually have to spend to use all this stuff, it's going to be the same thing as that, I think. But for now, it seems like a great idea because it's just like, yeah, just offload it and they don't need their nice PC. We could just sell them the space. And it's like, no, because eventually it's going to be way too much money to access that space. So they're going to stop.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have a good reason because it's like, they're not reason. I don't have a good solution really. Cause it's like, I want to just be like, man, yeah, fuck them. We should just, just ignore, like, big old boycott. But at some point, it kind of just feels like you're just cutting an entire medium off. And it's like, I don't know that if that's like truly, I don't know. At what point is it? Are you just asking for people to just like stop interacting with an entire aspect of just life? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Who's asking you to do that?
Yeah.
Well, not life, but or just I just mean like I'm just sitting here just being like, man, I don't know. I don't have a good solution. Is really just what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I just do not have a good solution for this, and that's really it. It's very frustrating.
I think what sucks is I don't think there is really a good solution for any of it right now, other than, well, I mean, regulation is the only thing that could like stop any of this.
Yeah,
I don't think that's I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right, Crystal, go ahead with what else you've been playing.
Well, I finished Final Fantasy XI. I had a pretty incredible moment, a incredible finale to that experience, which is that the march to the final dungeon was already a bit of a grueling experience. And then in the final dungeon, I was mostly playing it as like a stealth game where I was casting Deodorize and Sneak and Invisible on me and my party members to carefully make my way through the dungeon because the monsters were going to kill me real fast. And I finally made it. I saw the crystal checkpoint right before the final boss door. I could see it. And then I was killed by a monster.
Oh.
And when you die in that game, your corpse lays there for 1 hour. And for 1 hour, you have the opportunity to be revived. Else you will respawn and lose some experience points.
Mm-hmm.
I died. My boyfriend did not die. They were able to teleport back to town. And they begged and yelled for someone to please come save me. Is there any white mage? Is there any doctor here? Please.
Oh my God.
Come to this final dungeon and revive Crystal. And not only did one person answer, like a bunch of people answered. And it was this really beautiful moment because previously we had very little luck getting much interaction from strangers in that game. But right at the finish line, someone came and revived me, and I made it to the checkpoint, and some more people stuck around to help us kill the final boss, and we melted him real quick. And it was a beautiful moment of massively multiplayer online gaming.
Mm-hmm. The nice. 14 crowd is usually, the 11 crowd is usually pretty good about stuff like that. They love, like, if you need help, they're always there. Like, I've learned that jumping back in where I'm like, hey, where do I find this? Or, hey, how do I get to X? There's always somebody like, oh, let me escort you. And I'm like, could you please not kill monsters in my way, though, unless I'm about to die? And they're like, yeah, cool. Like, I've had some really good times ever since I've jumped back in because, yeah, a lot of those people, they just want you to love their game. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a good vibe. And then, like, hearing that, yeah, that 100% tracks. Like, oh, you're about to finish. Was it the base campaign, or were you in finishing expansion?
The base campaign. I was fighting the Shadow Lord.
Good old Shadow Lord.
Mm.
No, that's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's my FF11 story. That's
okay.
I thought that was really like that. This is what it means to play an MMO. This is exactly the experience that I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John, do you have much MMO experience yourself?
I've tried a few. I've never been able to get into it. Like, I've tried FF14. I think I tried WoW a little bit, and they're just not the kind of game that I can get into. I need, like, very rigid structure and goals and characters, especially because, like, something that I think really hit me, I think talking about it on Blue Sky with some folks, where I was just like, nah, like, I think a big thing is just I don't really get into the roleplay aspect of it. Like, so many people talk about how they're like, here's my character and how much I love to see my character do things. And I just can't get into that. I'm just like, yeah, I guess, sure, my dude's running around doing stuff, I guess, but I don't give a fuck. And it's just like, because they don't have a character, they're just they're just an avatar running around doing stuff. And so that doesn't really, like, I can't project onto them for whatever reason. So I just can't get into it. I don't know.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Much respect to y'all, you know. I'm not, you know, no hate, no, you know. I just do not care personally. Anything else?
As far as, like, massively multiplayer online gaming goes, I also tried a little bit of Cine Nerdle battle mode, which I had not played in a while. They've made a lot of updates to that game since, I think, for the better. There's, like, alternate win conditions. There's lots of ways to, like, block moves that your opponents might pick. There's, like, you can make your own loadouts of different abilities. Like, you can skip, or you can get more time, or you can do, like, an easy escape. It's maybe one of the best games ever made. It perfectly suited for my brain, which likes to make connections between things.
Sure.
I've never played such, like, Twitch-based competitive trivia like it quite before. I played it while checking out a bunch of similar browser-type games, the dulls, as they call them.
Yes, the dulls.
And going through a bunch of those will really, really, like, hone your critical instincts, because there's so many and they're all so similar that you can just tell which ones have the game design sauce and which ones don't. And I really think Cinebattle is still the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Cinebattle. What is that?
Okay, so let's do, like, a little practice ad hoc round of Cinebattle right now.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I play The Avengers. What is a movie that has an actor or a director or a cinematographer, the same one as in The Avengers?
The original Avengers. I would say we could just be simple with it and say Chris Evans.
Okay, what's another movie that Chris Evans is in? You gotta name the movie.
Knives Out.
Okay. You played Knives Out. There's one X on Chris Evans. From Knives Out, I'm going to go to Avengers 2. Now there's two X's on Chris Evans. What do you play?
All right, then I will play
Snowpiercer. Okay, now there's three X's on Chris Evans, so you have to connect Snowpiercer to something that doesn't have Chris Evans in it.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm cutting that off because I can't think of anything immediately, and I don't want it. I don't want us to just be like, you know. But yeah, no, yeah, I've seen Northern Lion play that quite a bit. it's a fun way to play that for sure. Because like Cine 2 Nerdle or however it's called, it is neat to just have that, like, like figuring out the connections and all that. It's very fun. It's very fun. The dulls are always a delight. Love a dull.
I love a dull. They're very fun to play with your friends.
Yeah. You can go on the Scrandle and you can see some fucked up images of
God,
foul.
fucking Scrandle. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, Scrandle's weird because there's such a friction in the design to me of, like, my natural instinct is to choose which one I like more, right? But the actual game is to choose what other people like more.
Yeah.
Never quite got over that.
No. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They got like the world's most plain looking hot dog versus a hot dog that actually has stuff on it. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm picking the one that has stuff on it, but like
the plain one's gonna win almost every time.
No, the plain one did not win, but it was like way closer than you'd expect. It was like 17% of people liked the shitty looking hot dog, and 25% of people liked the nice looking hot dog. It's like, what do you mean it was that close?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta hot your dogs.
I don't know. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. I don't get it. It really does just feel like a coin flip a lot of the time.
Look, some people think a Chicago dog is tasty, so...
You see, it's a great game. It's already got the conversation going, and this isn't even one of the best ones.
I suppose so, yeah. I don't know. Here, hang on. I've almost got it. Okay. I finished today's Scrandle with a 7 out of 10. The community average is an 8, though, so I'm fucked.
Yeah,
they hate me.
Get good, scrub.
Yeah, they hate me. Also, play Blue Revolver. It's made by the same person that made Blue Revolver. That's a great game. Anyway, yeah, that should be it, right? Is there any other game? Are there any other games that you wish to shout out, Crystal and or Lorelai?
That's it for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, let me just make one more check to see if we got any questions. Sure does not seem like it. That's okay. If you want to send in a question, you can go to our Discord server, which is thegamezone.zone. You can reply to us on Blue Sky, which if you want to follow us on there, it's gamesline.net. We do have an email address. It is podcast@gamesline.net. You can send stuff there too. I'll start checking that again if y'all want to send things there. But yeah, that should do it. If you want to come check out our stuff, it is gamesline.net. You could just type that into your web browser and go on there and click around, read some stuff. What was the last thing that got posted? Let me see. Let me pull up the website and take a look here.
The podcast.
It was the podcast. We did have our anime podcast that did get posted as well, the Unlimited Railworks. We also had the article by Spencer about, we talked about how much people love Limbus Company. Limbus Company did have an odd moment a few weeks ago where they decided to use a slur in its dialogue, and it felt very jarring and unearned, as it were. So Spencer wrote about that. And that's on the website. Go check it out. And follow us on Blue Sky, gamesline.net. You can follow our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@thegamesline. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/GameslineTV. We have our Patreon, patreon.com/GamesLine, where you can give us money to continue to exist. Because without your support, we are nothing. And if you also want to support us in a community way, you can go to our Discord server, thegamezone.zone, type that into your web browser. Thank you to meltchannel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And not this week. Okay, I guess just some general housekeeping stuff real quick. First off, I am planning on interviewing some of the devs behind indie visual novel hit Of the Devil. And if you are so interested in that, to ask them questions, you can send us the questions the same way that you would on the Discord. Email us, send it to us, reply, DM us, whatever the hell. just get those questions in if you want to. I can't guarantee I'm going to read them because it's, going to be pretty screened, but, I'm going to be chatting with them. So that'll be a fun time. We're going to be doing that next week. And the week after, the 16th, Crystal, you could talk about this because you spearheaded this concept. You can talk about this.
Yes, I will be hosting a Game Club podcast episode on Xenoclash, the cult classic first-person brawler. It's like 5 hours long, so you got plenty of time to play it. We will be recording that episode on August 16th, so send us questions by then. What's the email where people can send us questions, John?
You go to podcastgamesline.net.
That's right.
Or again, we have our Discord server. We have the thread for that, or just however else you want to get it to us. Just, as long as you're clear about what the question is for. Don't, we're not going to ask the devil team about Xenoclash. I mean, I guess, unless you really want us to, maybe we can figure something out. But I'll try not to overlap that too much. Where can people find you, Lorelai?
You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky at Judgment Scythe.
How about you, Crystal? Where can people find you, and what are some other things that you would like them to check out?
On Blue Sky, you can find me at crystal.undertow.cards. Listen to Drawn from the Undertow, the actual play podcast that I produce. You can find that at undertow.cards. If this comes out before August 7th, you still have time to vote in the fan art contest.
Ooh, very nice. And you can find me on Blue Sky at john.gamesline.net. And I mean, I'm on Retro Achievements too, but I don't know, there's not like a posting thing. If you want to follow me on there, it's just John Machon, but you don't gotta do that. It's okay. I don't know. It's not like, that's not like a message me on there sort of deal, I guess. I don't know.
Message me on Retro Cheese.
I don't know. I mean, I'll see it and I'll just be like, okay. I'll probably ignore it, but, I guess you could. And that should do it. We'll be back soon with another episode of the Gamesline Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.